Hello IP students. Today our topic is Python NumPy array, and in this lecture we are going to discuss different functions which are used to create two-dimensional array. In our previous lecture we are already discussed different functions which are used to create one-dimensional array. So this is part 2 of Python NumPy array. So let's start. As you can see on screen that there are 10 functions, and these 10 functions are used to create two-dimensional array. So let's start one by one. First is array. Actually, array function is used to create one-dimensional array as well as two-dimensional array. Second is arrange function. Arrange function is used to create one-dimensional array. But when we use arrange with the reshape function, then it is useful to create two-dimensional array. Third is empty, as the name suggests. It is used to create a two-dimensional array in which all elements are empty. Actually, all elements basically contain garbage value. Fourth is a 0. So it is used to create a two-dimensional array in which all elements are 0. Fifth is ones. Function name is ones, and it is used to create two-dimensional array whose all elements are ones. Six is empty like, then zero like, then I, then random dot rand, and last is random dot randint. So let us start one by one. First is array. So array function is used to create one-dimensional and two-dimensional array. So the most important thing is about array function is that it is basically a very common function. It is used to create one-dimensional as well as two-dimensional array, and the syntax is very simple. First of all, you have some um, data or raw material in which you have to convert this into an array using array function. Suppose we take here a list. If instead of list we have a tuple or a string or a dictionary, then we can also convert it into array. So list is there. You can easily see here 1 3 5 2 4 6 are the elements of two list. Actually it is a nested list. To create this nested list into an array, we take a variable a1 and then we just write a1 equal to np dot array, this point. Okay, and then pass list1 as a parameter value. So array function actually create this list into an array, and finally we just write a print statement to see the output. So print a1. After that you can easily see that an array will be created which contain element 135, which is the element of first list, and second is 246, which is the element of which are the element of second list. 135 and 246 are the elements of an array. Actually these are the elements of a list, and when we use the array function, then the elements of list are converted into an two-dimensional array, because nested list is here. If a single list is here, then only one-dimensional array will be created. So using array function, the most important thing is that we are able to create one-dimensional as well as two-dimensional array. Okay, now I think it is clear to all of you, very simple to understand. Now second is, if there is a tuple in place of a list, then in this case also we can convert this tuple into an array using array function. So what we have to do here, just pass tuple as a parameter into an array function, and you are able to convert that tuple into an array. So array function is used to create one dimensional and two dimensional array. Okay, so first line is import numpy as np. Second is t1, which is the tuple, of course. 2 4 3 5 6 4 and 5 6 are the elements, and then a2 np dot array t1. This is the line which is used to convert that tuple t1 into an array. So we pass this tuple as a parameter value into an array function. So we just write a2 is equal to np dot array t1, then print a2. Okay, 2 4 3 5 6 4 5 6, these are the element which we get as a output. And why it is so? It is because 2 4 3 5 6 4 and 5 6 are the element of nested tuple. Okay, so by using array function we are able to create these elements into an array. Third is Python two-dimensional ND array using arrange and reshape function. As you know that arrange function, before I'm going to discuss arrange function, let us talk some important point regarding array function. First of all, array is a very important function when it is used to create a ND array. Okay, it is used to create one dimensional as well as two dimensional array, and we can pass as a list as a parameter, tuple as a parameter, or string as a parameter value within that array, and we are able to create that tuple, list, or a string into an array. As you can see in this case, that first of all, in the first case we just create an array using a list, and in second case we just create an array using a tuple. Okay, so second is arrange function. Arrange function is used to create one dimensional as well as two dimensional array, but when we want to create a two dimensional array using arrange function, then arrange function is not sufficient. With this function we have to use reshape function. Reshape function is basically used to create a one dimensional array into two dimensional array. So whatever we get one dimensional array after the arrange function, that array will be created into two dimensional array using reshape function. So we have to use both arrange and a reshape function to create an two dimensional array. So the first line, as you can see on the screen, is import numpy as np, and it is a first and important line because this line basically import numpy library into a program. Numpy is a library, np is basically a alternative name, or we can say that we rename this numpy as np. So whenever we want to use numpy in our program, we use np in place of numpy because we already renamed numpy as np, and it is required because numpy basically contain 5 characters, so you have to type always numpy, and instead of typing always numpy, you have to just type np. So it is quite easy as compared to typing numpy again and again. Okay, you can take any another word or small word, you can take n, or you can take p also, but in most of the cases np is used, which reflect numpy. Okay, so this is a general convention used to represent numpy. So as far as book is concerned or other tutorial which is related to numpy is concerned, np is always there, but it is not a rule. We can take any variable name in place of numpy. So we just write import numpy as np. The important thing is that whenever we want to use numpy as a library, we use np. We write np in place of numpy. And if you want to use any function related to np, then we have to just write np first and then put dot operator and then name of the function, whatever it is. In case of arrange, it is arrange. In case of reshape, it is also reshape function is also belongs to numpy. So import numpy as np. Okay, so first of all we just write a1 np dot arrange 122 1 comma 20 comma 2. So basically it is a range start from 1 and goes up to 20. 20 is not included in this case because last value is not the part of that arrange function, so it is always excluded. And the important thing is that the increment is 2. So first value is 2, then after 1 plus 2 3, then 5, then 7, up to so on. Okay, so that is a sequence, and if 2 is not given, in that case default value is 1. So step value default step value is 1. If 1 is not given, then default step value is 0. Then there is a print statement, print 1d array is. Then there is a print statement, print a1. So a1 will be printed. A1 is an array. A1 is an array, one dimensional array. Then after there is a variable a2, which is declared as a2 is equal to a1 dot reshape 5 comma 2. So this one dimensional array a1 will be converted into a two dimensional array in which contain 5 rows and 2 columns. Always remember that when we write row column, then first of all we have to write just row and then column in matrix as well as in information practices or in an array in programming. So just write number of rows first and then number of columns after putting comma sign. So 5 comma 2 means that 5 rows and 2 columns. And when we multiply 5 by 2, then we get 10. So 10 numbers should be there. If 10 numbers are not there, then it will give an error. So between 1 and 20 and 1 and 20 with an interval of 2, there are 20 elements, there are, sorry, 10 elements. So it will reshape all these 10 elements into another two-dimensional array, which is named as A2. And at last A2 will be printed. You can easily see here, print two-dimensional arrays, print A2. So A2 will be printed. Let us see. This is one dimensional array, start from 1, there is increment of 2, and it is goes up to 20. 20 is not included. So you can see that 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17 and 19. So total 10 elements are there, and we have to convert these 10 elements into two-dimensional array uh, in such a manner that there are 5 rows and 2 columns. You can easily see that 5 rows are there and 2 columns are there. Okay, so 5 into 2 means there are maximum 10 elements should be there. So there are 10 elements, so no issue found. If there are less than 10 elements, then this will give an error into your program. So always remember that uh, when you use reshape function, then total number of elements should be exactly the same as the number of the elements, and you can get by just multiply number of rows into number of columns. So 5 into 2, it means 10 will be the answer. Clear? Now let us take another example now. So the most important thing regarding to the arrange function is that whenever you want to use whenever you want to create two-dimensional array using arrange function, then arrange function is not able to create one-dimensional array. Using a reshape function, you are able to create two-dimensional array. So basically arrange function create one-dimensional array, and reshape function change the shape of that one-dimensional array, or we can say that change one-dimensional array to two-dimensional array. Let us see empty function. Third is empty. As the name suggests, empty function, but it is not simple as it is. Empty means there is no element at all, but it will create an two-dimensional array. But the main important thing is that it will generate random garbage values. Random garbage value. It means that whenever you want to create an empty array using empty function, it will create a random. It will give you a random value. So our answer is always different. Or most of the time it is different from one another. Whether whether you create an array at a same computer, or you can use another computer, it doesn't matter. It will create an empty array with random garbage value. So the syntax is very simple. First of all, we have to write import numpy as np. It is a very important line, because without import numpy as a library, we are not able to create an array. So all these functions are basically related to numpy library. So first of all, in your program, you have to write import numpy as np. In second line, you can easily see that a1 is equal to np dot empty. Okay, 3 comma 2, so 3 rows and 2 columns. 3 rows and 2 columns, and data type is np int 8. So all of are integer type, and size is very small, 8-bit. So it will create an two-dimensional array which contain 3 rows and 2 columns, and all values inside the two-dimensional array are garbage value. So you can easily see that -1, -1, 102, 45, 56 and 0. If you just run this program into your computer, then your answer may be differ from this, because it will create a random garbage value. And even if you run this program again and again, your answer will be differ from the previous one. Okay, so empty array basically create an empty two-dimensional array which contain random garbage value. So in actual case, value is not empty or not null, but it will create a random garbage value. Okay. Next is zeros. As the name suggests, zeros. So zeros is a function of numpy by which we are able to create a two-dimensional array which contain all element as a zero. Okay, so first line is import numpy is np, and second line you can easily see that a1 np dot 0, that is the size 3 comma 2 passed as a parameter value. Then data type declared here is np int 64, and then order c, that is order c. You can easily see that all elements are 0. C means column wise. By default, order is C. Okay, so you can easily see that 0 0 0 0 and 0 0. Next is Python ND array using ones. This is same as it of the previous one, but the only difference between these two that is that the in this function all elements are 1. In case of zeros, all elements are 0. Rest all things are same as that of the previous one. You can easily see here that import numpy is np. This line is useful to import numpy as a library into a program. In second line, a1 is equal to np once 3 comma 2. So 3 comma 2 basically gives you the size of the numpy array. Then d type which basically it will tell you the data type is int 64, and then at last order c. So order c will give you the order of the data, and last print a1. So this is very much similar to the previous one, but the only difference is the name of the function. In this case, the name of the function is ones. In previous case, name of the function is zeros, which will create a two-dimensional array which contain all element as a zero value. But in case of ones, it will create a two-dimensional array which in which all values are 1 or all values are same. So you can easily see here all values are ones. So these are the main function basically used to create two-dimensional array. Now let us talk about another important function, empty like, zero like, ones like. These functions are basically useful when you already create an two-dimensional array, and when you already create a two-dimensional array using empty function or using zero function or using one function in which all value element may contain the garbage value. When you create just a two-dimensional array using empty function, or all values may contain zero when you use when you just create a two-dimensional array using zero function, or all values may be 1 when you create a two-dimensional array using ones function. And if you want to create another function which is similar to the previous one, then you can use empty like, zero like, or ones like. So for empty, you can use empty like function. For when you create a two-dimensional array using zero and you want to make a copy of it, you can use zero underscore like function. And when you create a two-dimensional array using ones function, and if you want to make a copy of it, you can use ones underscore like. So it is very much similar. So the small program is here. You can easily see that import numpy as np, then after a1 is equal to np dot empty 3 comma 2. So it will create an empty array, data type is given, order is also given. Okay, then there is a print statement which will print the array. And now in this line you can easily see that print second array is, and a2 is equal to np dot empty underscore like a1. That is a very important line. Basically this line will create a two-dimensional array which is similar to the a1, in which all elements are empty or all elements contain the garbage value. Okay, so whatever is the size of the a1 must be the size of the a2, and it is very much similar to the a1. So a2 is similar to the a1, not equal. Why it is not equal? Because it contains a garbage value, and garbage value may be differ in case of a1 and in case of a2, but the structure is very much same. Okay, garbage values are random garbage values actually. So for A2 it may be differ, and for A1 it may be other value. So first of all, we just create an empty array using empty function, and then after we use empty underscore like function, which will create an two-dimensional array, which will create a two-dimensional array, which looks very much similar to the uh, A1. A1 is a array which in which all elements contain the random garbage value. Okay, now you can see the output here. It is the first array using empty function. Okay, this is the second array which is created by using empty underscore like. Now the basic thing between these two is that here you can easily see that the first element is 206 and in this first element 204. So it is not equal, they are very much similar. Size is same. As far as value is concerned, both of them contain random garbage value. Clear? Okay, now uh, same concept we use to zero like and ones like, but the only difference between zero like and empty like and ones like and empty like is that in zero like and ones like, first of all you have to create a two-dimensional array using zero function or ones function, and then if you want to make a copy of it, then you can use zero underscore like and ones underscore like. uh, but in this case all elements should be 0 or 1. In case of 0 underscore like, all elements are 0. In case of 1 underscore like, all elements are 1, which is not same in case of empty underscore like. When you create an two-dimensional array using empty function, and if you want to make a copy of it using empty underscore like function, then the elements are different because it will generate random garbage value. Okay, now it's time to use uh, now it's time to take another function. That function is I function. Very important and very simple to use also. Actually, I function create an array which contain equal number of rows and columns. Whatever be the number of rows must be the number of the columns. If number of rows are 3, then number of columns should be 3. Okay, so the syntax is very simple. Name of the function is I, and you have to pass only the one parameter value inside it, and it is an integer. Actually it is a number of the rows or columns, because number of the rows and columns are both are the same, so you don't need to pass both of them. You just give only one value. So that is the syntax, and that will create an nd array uh, in which all elements are in which number of rows and number of columns are same. That is the first thing. Now the second thing is that what about elements of an array? The elements of an array, as far as elements of array are concerned, diagonal element should be 1 and rest all elements are 0. That is the second condition. The diagonal position, all elements are 1 and rest all other positions elements are 0. Now you can easily see that import numpy as np. A1 is equal to np dot I3. That will create an numpy array of 3 by 3. Then print array is, then we just print the array. So you can easily see that the output contain elements 100 010 010 and you can easily see that the diagonal element of 111 and rest all elements are 0. So that is the basic functioning of I function. So always remember that I function create an two-dimensional array which contain equal number of rows and columns, and in which diagonal element are 1 and rest all elements are 0. So that is the functionality of I function. Okay, in case in terms of mathematics, it is read as a square metric in which all elements are same. in which number of rows and number of columns are same. But in case of array, not only the number of rows and columns are same, but also the diagonal element should contain the value 1 and rest all other values should be 0. So very important function to learn. And next is random.rand and random.randint. Okay, so let us take it one by one. So actually uh, okay, first of all talk about random.rand function. So when you want to create random value between 0 and 1, then you have to use random.rand function. So just write np.random.rand and here the size 3 comma 4, it means 3 rows and 4 columns. It will give you a array of row 3 and number of columns 4, in which all values are generated between 0 and 1. Okay, but if you want to change the number inside the array, then you can do it very easily. Just mark the star um, star symbol, and then star means here multiply, and then any number. Here suppose you can easily see that. I will show you 3 4 star 100. So that will create again an array of row 3 and 4, but the range is different. Now the range start range is 0. Okay, no problem at all. But the end range, the and last value be must be less than 100. So it will give you value between 0 and 100. Actually here when you just write it as star 100, that means you just change the range of it. By default change range is 0 to 1, but here we just change the range 0 to 100. If you just write in 1000 in place of 100, then it will give you a range from 0 to 1000. And if you just write 50 in place of 100 here, where the arrow mark, you can easily see here, then it will create an array of row 3 and column 4, which contain range 0 to 50. Next is random.randint. Okay, here random.randint is different from random.rand, because in random.randint we have to give the range. Okay, we have to specify the range. So as you can easily see here, that first parameter is 5, and then size is given. Size is basically the dimension, so 3 rows and 4 columns. Size is basically the number of rows and columns. So first of all, as you know, that number of rows are given, and after that number of columns should be there. So 3 comma 4 means 3 rows and 4 columns, and the first parameter value is 5. It will give you a range from 0 to 4. Always remember that last value is not included, it is always excluded. So np.random.rand give you an array of row 3 and column 4 in the range of 0 to 4. If we write 6 in place of 5 here, then range is 0 to 5. Okay, so you can easily see here there is a small program a1 np.random.rand 34 array will be printed, and then 3400. So whatever be the example given here, now these all are in the form of a program. You can easily see here. The important thing is that, okay, now you can easily see here, these are the elements, the first array, then the second array, and the third array. Okay, these are the elements of an array. So you can just pause the video here, write the program here, and just execute this program. It will give you a clear idea how random.rand and random.randint will work. Okay, So this is all about our today's lecture. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching this video.